So we did have a question for just the general, all our faculty experts here today. Any recommendations for how to take attendance in Zoom? Any strategies that work if anybody has any experience doing that?
I could share what I've done. I don't have Zoom classes right now. They're not my favorite. Sorry, I sound negative, but I'm not. I just really like being in the classroom, that's all. So what I did is I would log onto my Conference Zoom account after, and this is kind of a ridiculous step process, but it worked for me, is that I would look at my attendance, and if people had switched rooms though, like into break rooms, it breaks it up. So I alphabetized it and just made sure everyone was there from start to finish. And it took me maybe 5 minutes each time after class. That was it. That was the best way for me.
Awesome. Anybody have any other strategies? That one makes sense to me. So looking at the participants after a meeting in Zoom and just cross-checking it with your Canvas course.
I check my attendance on Starfish. And so I would have my Zoom screen on one screen and pull up the Starfish attendance on the other one. And I would literally just call names just like I do in class. And I would tell them to be ready. Like, we don't want to wait for you to unmute. You know that your name is coming. It takes about 2 or 3 weeks for them to figure out where in the line they are. Then, because I tease them a little bit when it takes them a long time, and then that encourages them to hurry up. Because just like in class, I don't want to take a long time, check and roll. And then at the end, because they like to slip away, or if we're doing a discussion and I will notice there's fewer people in the room, I don't know if this is legal, but I take a picture real quick of it and then see who's missing and then delete the picture. So then I can send that person an email and say, let me know what's happening. Did you drop the call? Did something? Because sometimes really things do happen. They happen for me too. And so then I can kind of tell if it's a consistent. I'm always leaving early. I can reach out again and say what's going on, or sometimes it's a one-time deal. So that's kind of, Starfish helps me with that.
Awesome. Thank you, Christy. And Kelly put in the chat that she used a low stakes quiz with 2 to 3 questions right at the beginning of class, or you could do it after, maybe if students know that it's coming towards the end of class as well. That's an awesome strategy as well. So we have 3 great strategies. Thank you all so much for sharing. As always, there's no right way to teach, right? It's all about what works for us and for our students and our classes. Are there any other Q&A questions? We have 2 minutes left.
I actually have a question. I'm sorry that my video is giving me some problems. It kind of glitches out when it's on. I know that this is about the temporary switch for the first 2 weeks, and I was driving when I was listening to opening day. I had a doctor's appointment, and did I hear that she said that we could also potentially switch our modality for the remainder of the semester? Did I mishear that?
I heard that as well.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing nods. I would recommend reaching out to your department chair or dean and talking to them about that.
Okay, I just didn't want to. I thought if I misheard that, I wanted to make sure other people heard the same thing I did.
Yeah, it looks like I'm seeing at least 4. I can see 3 heads and all of them are nodding. So I would say, yes, we all heard that.
Okay, good. Then I can reach out in confidence. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. No problem. That's what we're here for. 1 minute left. Any other questions? Thank you.
I had a question for one for Emily and one for Ramiro. I was curious, what are in your other reflections? What topics you cover? And Emily, would be interested in hearing how you do your lab over Zoom. Like if you have any tips for that kind of thing.
So this semester, I'm going to try and do my labs in person. I'm going to try and possibly have the students alternate weeks in which week they show up so that I can space them out in the lab more. But I have taught labs online, and it's a challenge. I'll do an intro video, and then I'll try to have some sort of interaction where the students either do something with things that they have on hand, or they have to go to a website and interact with a website in some way. So it's a challenge.
Excellent question. Thank you, Dana. Any other piece? Go ahead.
We're just gonna go on her. She answered like a 2-part question. My second reflections and my third reflections and so on, they're more based on the actual questions that I ask them about the exam. How did they feel before they took the exam? Did they think they were prepared? So that I can, again, see it's like just stats for me to see, like, maybe they think 4 hours is enough to study, right? So then I know, like, hey, you thought, I mean, we can just talk about, especially when I tell them, anyone that fails my exam, I have them come talk to me. So then I look at those questions on how they answered them so that I could, again, better serve them as students. And so those questions are kind of like that. But the last question is always like, just tell me something of what's going on with you in your life at that moment. So again, so that I can kind of know about them as well. So that's every other reflection is tailored to the exams.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I want to be mindful of everybody's time. So thank you so much to our faculty who spoke today. Your advice is invaluable. So thank you for taking time out of your busy days. And thank you to everybody for attending. I'll post the recording on the blog. As always, I'm here to support you. Just shoot me an email if you need me. And here we go. Okay. Bye. Thank you, everybody.